What's going on, guys? James here from the Football Manager Whiz Kids, and we're back on the Class of 92 Manchester United experiment that I created. Now, this ended 2 months ago. I did say I would revisit it, and that's what I'm done. It's an end of an era. The players are at the end of the career, and if you haven't grasped what the concept of this is, you probably haven't watched the previous episodes. You probably best not watch this one, or watch the previous ones and then come back here. The basics of it: we've created 6 members of the Class of 92, stuck them in the Manchester United under-18 team at a very young age, just starting out their career. Those 6 players were Ryan Giggs, David Beckham, Phil Neville, Gary Neville, Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes. We wanted to see if we could emulate the career that they had. Of course, you know how it went up until about 14-15 seasons-ish. Now we are 20 years in, 20 seasons in, 31st of May 2034, and the players are at the end of their careers. Before we show you the players and the careers and how they got on, I have to say, Paul Scholes retired a few seasons ago. He's not in the game anymore. He had a pretty abysmal career. He went to a few lower clubs, West Ham, Sheffield Wednesday. Of course, when I took over for that one season, I brought him back. But let's check out the main guys, the other 5. But as you can see, captain of the club, Ryan Giggs. Vice captain, David Beckham. Now we'll leave them two to the very end. We're going to check out Phil Neville first. Show you his career and how he's been getting on. Okay, so here he is at Nottingham Forest. Still on £71,000 per week, which is mammoth. He's a veteran fullback, rotation at them, worth £425,000. Now he's got 87 caps for England, 33 for the under-21 and no goals in that time. As you can see, his mental stats, of course, even as you get older, they're still going to be incredible. But his technicals, they were never great, but they were a lot better than that. And his physicals have took an absolute demolishing. Let's check out the history of Phil Neville's career. Of course, started off at Manchester United. Got 4 games before being loaned out to Middlesbrough. Came back for 9 games before going on loan to Swansea in the Premier League. Spent most of his career at Manchester United before getting a move 2 seasons ago to Nottingham Forest to end his career for £150,000, and he's played 45 games for them. Now, as you can see, the last 3 seasons he's took a big decline with his average. They've been very poor, but before that, for about 7 seasons, they were 7 or above. And before that, the start of his career was also pretty poor, but he was a rotational player for pretty much all of that time. In Phil Neville's career, he has played 427 games, scored 1 measly goal, which was in 2025 season, 18 assists, 5 man of the matches, which is pretty unbelievable, and a disappointing 6.97 average. We move on to his brother Gary Neville. Of course, you all know him as the Sky Sports presenter, commentator, the better player of the brother in real life, and of course in this save, the better brother. The former captain in this save of the Manchester United team, demoted to the under-21s now as he comes to the end of his career. He was on a mammoth near £200,000 per week, now on 50 grand, age 36, just like the rest of the guys. 130 England caps, 18 under-21 caps for England, and still in and around the squad of Manchester United at the moment. We will check his career. He has got 1 year left on his contract. Of course, started off at Manchester United, went on loan to Cardiff for 4 games, and spent the rest of his career at Manchester United. Now, if you look through on the right, you'll see his season average. That is absolutely mammoth. Apart from the last 2 seasons when he's, of course, been on the decline, his worst average has been 7.13, I think. Yes, as you can see, very consistent, of course. Injury free, it appears to me. And a very loyal player throughout the save. 572 games. I would say around 400 of those as captain. 10 goals, 96 assists. So 1 in every 5 assists-ish. 43 man of the match and a 7.42 average. A very respectable return from Gary Neville, who spent almost his whole career, bar a loan spell at Cardiff, throughout the series. We're on to Nicky Butt, the first one to force a move away from Manchester United when he wasn't getting a game. Looking at his mental stats, they're very solid. Technical's not the best. Physical's, of course, declining. He's in the under-21 of Manchester City on £190,000 per week. A veteran midfielder with 55 England caps, 2 goals, 26 England under-21 caps, and 3 goals for them. Played for a various of clubs throughout his career. Of course, never got much time at Manchester United. Probably cracking a total of about 25 games. Going on loan to Fulham, West Ham, before making a 1.1 million move to Newcastle. Of course, he went there in real life and done okay. Then a big money move after proving himself for 3 seasons, 25 million to Manchester City, where he become a bit of a legend there. As you can see, he stayed there for a long time, racking up over 300 games for those. Declined the last 2-3 seasons, but before that for a good 6 or 7. Very consistent, getting an average of around 7.30 throughout that time. Total stats for his career: 414 games, 16 goals, 33 assists, 27 man of the match, 7.17 average, and a Manchester City, would you believe it, legend at the end of all that. Now we bring you to the legend himself, Mr. Ryan Giggs. The one-man club in real life, and it appears he's been a one-man club throughout this series. From the age of 18, he has been absolutely phenomenal. Looking at those technicals, they're still pretty decent. Physicals are pretty good. Kept himself in good shape with that natural fitness. And then mentals are to die for any Football Manager gamer. Still, at the age of 36, involved in the first team, just clocked up 40 appearances in that season with an impressive 7.25 average. Valued at £2 million on £195,000 per week. 75 caps for Wales, I think he should have got more. 25 goals, 1 in every 3 there. 17 for the under-21s and 5 under-21 goals. As we said, a one-man club. Even now, he's still clocking up massive averages. 7 all the way through his career, apart from the very first time he got into the team, which was 6 games. But looking at that, 548 games, 85 goals, a monster 139 assists, 36 player of the match, 7.47 average, and an absolute god amongst the Manchester United faithful, as he is in real life. So this is spot on, this is nailed. Ryan Giggs is done on the game in the series what he done in real life. Now, saving the very best to last, of course it is none other than the number 7 of Manchester United, aged 36, David Beckham, a rotational veteran winger, of course, now at that age. 103 international caps, 12 goals, 19 caps for the under-21, 4 goals, and still pulling out great averages for the team at the age of 36. Mental stats incredible, physical stats okay, technical stats very good. When you get older, you don't lose it, you tend to lose that physical side of your game. But he has been absolutely incredible and probably the best on this series that I've done. £300,000 per week he's still on. He was a world-class player throughout the whole entire series. Started off as a wonder kid, got a worldwide reputation and became a world-class player for Manchester United and for England. And at one point, guys, he was valued at £54 million. That's right. Let's check the history of his career of Mr. David Beckham. So basically, Manchester United, all the way through, apart from he had a bit of a season on loan at Southampton, getting 20 appearances for them, and I think he got injured the rest of that season, if I remember right. That's why he didn't play any more games for them. But right the way throughout this, guys, look at those averages. Just in this screen here, the worst I can see is 7.37, and that is this season, where he played half a season at the age of 36. He's getting one of them, he got an average of 8.23. Absolutely incredible from David Beckham. Let's look at his overall stats for his career. 529 games, 62 goals, I would have wanted more. 219 assists. That is fantastic. 92 man of the match and a 7.77 average. That is the captain of England, I believe, the vice-captain of Manchester United, has saved through a variety of managers, myself for the one season, Marcelino, Sir Alex Ferguson, of course, who we brought back, Laurent Blanc, and Sergei Rebrov, who's been in charge for a long, long time now. So that's it, guys. That is the Class of 92 series. Completely finished. I won't be going back to it. I started it about 3-4 months ago. I finished it 2 months ago, and I did promise you I'd come back for one episode to see how they got on at the very end and the twilight of their career. As you can see, Ryan Giggs, captain, David Beckham, captain, Gary Neville still at the club, Phil Neville at Nottingham Forest, Nicky Butt at Manchester City, Paul Scholes retired, and a few of them, in fact all but Paul Scholes and Phil Neville, went down as icons and or club legends. That's the series, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you check out this revisit. It's the end of the career. A long, long time. And they have been absolutely spectacular. And it was a pleasure to do this experiment. It was a pleasure to play as this club. And I've got a big, big experiment coming in the opening 2 weeks of Football Manager 2016. A lot of work needed to go into that. But I'm sure you will absolutely love it. Thanks for checking it out, guys. Check out my YouTube. Give it a sub. Like the Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, thanks again, and I'll see you again soon.